Thanks, Paul. Again, thank you for everybody staying up late with us. Obviously not the performance that we had prepared for or we wanted. So first and foremost, credit Michigan State. They were able to, win the line of scrimmage. I mean, that's the bottom line. They were able to get explosive runs when we missed tackles. They were able to get us to misfit gaps, and, their guys were able to take it the distance. I did think at times we did respond and we shored some things up, but obviously not consistently enough. I thought Hunter played pretty solid, for getting back out there for his first start in a couple of years. I thought he made some big plays. I think he'll really learn from this and grow. And the same thing with our receivers. I thought they played pretty well for a handful of guys that are pretty young and experienced. So a lot to grow from, but more importantly, a ton to learn from, a ton to teach. And, ultimately it's my responsibility to have us be able to be more consistent in our execution than we were today in tackling, and then obviously in our red zone efficiency when we had the ball across the 20 multiple times and didn't get any points, and that's obviously problematic. So with that, I'll answer any questions you have. Thanks again for being here.
Questions, Steve?
When you're down, I guess 14-0 at the time, and Hunter's dropped back to pass maybe twice in the game, and does it add to just the weight of what he's trying to unburden himself of and have some success, and then to see him have some? I mean, is that kind of the way you saw it play out, that it could have been really rough and it turns out it wasn't?
Yeah, Steve, I think he handled it really well. I thought he was really poised on the boundary. I thought he was talking to the guys the right way. Let's get a first down. Let's go score. Just, again, a guy who's older, maybe doesn't have a ton of experience, but he'll grow and build off of this from a standpoint of efficiency. And there were a lot of areas we can still help him as a coach, and that was the things that we were talking about there at the end of the game. But when we got empty trips in the red zone, we start with us as coaches. We've got to find ways to put those points up on the board, be it the kicking game, and also obviously touchdowns are critical there. So we got to look at our plan, and then we got to look at the way we executed it. But I thought Hunter was pretty resilient throughout the whole game.
Coach, you're not able to really get into your run game in the first half, and in the second half you start to get Evan Hall going a little more. What can you do to, number one, establish a more consistent run game, and number two, overcome the loss of Cam Porter?
Well, I thought, from a standpoint down 14-0, we were a little bit, I think, a little bit shell-shocked, and I thought the guys responded, and we were able to get the run game going a little bit. And to get some explosive plays of our own in the run game, but just obviously not consistent enough. So we'll take a look at the scheme first, and then, we'll take a look at what we did execution-wise to get it shored up and get better for next week.
Coach, how much did Michigan State's offensive scheme differ from what you saw last season? Was there anything new that you hadn't seen before?
Yeah, not really, not necessarily. I mean, a couple of nuances, but nothing that, I wouldn't say that we weren't overly prepared for. I think they just executed it pretty clean, and it's a credit to them. And, they've obviously made some changes personnel-wise and upgraded some of their speed in some areas. And, it showed today when they were able to get out in the open and make some big plays.
Coach, you mentioned struggles on third down and some struggles in the kicking game. And in the red zone, kind of what did you see and what do you think were the root cause of those? And when you go back to the drawing board, how do you think you're going to solve those going into the rest of the season?
Oh, well, you just get to work, Drew. I mean, it's one game, right? Unlike the pros, you don't get any exhibition games, right? So when you come out and you may have a lot of self-inflicted wounds against a good team, a talented team, a much improved team than maybe anybody gave them credit for, it's tough to beat two teams. And I don't want to discredit Michigan State's effort, but obviously we made a lot of mistakes. So, well, number one, we've got to execute better in the kick game. Those 6 points, that's a big difference at the end of the game, and probably a difference in momentum a little bit also. And then the trips into the red zone without points. When we've got first and goals, we've got the ball inside the 20, and we end up having, self-inflicted wounds, either a penalty or, a blown assignment or just a mistargeted thing. So we got to look at all of it and make sure we got our plan shored up. But I thought at times, again, if I'm going to draw a positive from today, I thought I saw a lot of growth from Hunter today, and I'm really proud of him.
Just another quick question about Evan Hull. He only had, I believe, 18 all-purpose yards in the first half, and Trey Tyus started the game. Was there a reason, even though Evan was started on the depth chart, was there a reason why he was eased into the game later than started the second half?
Yeah, Ev has been nursing a lower body issue through kind of the middle to end of camp, and so we're trying to bring him along a little bit slowly today. But we've got 100% confidence in what Ev can do, and obviously showcase that, in that big explosive run and other runs too. So, we're going to need all three guys. There's no question about that. So look forward to having them all grow and learn and get back out here. I can't wait for next Saturday. I'm not going to lie to you. Today was a long day, and the way the Spartans got after us made it longer. So I'm looking forward to getting out to practice next week. Yes, Steve?
Is it, staying with the quarterback, is your just resolve any deeper or firmer about Hunter's he's your starter?
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
you kind of put it in terms of just this first game.
Yeah, no, I absolutely, 100%. I thought he gave us every opportunity to win the game. I thought he had poise today. I thought we saw, quite a bit of pressure that, Michigan State was going to bring. That, at times I thought we picked it up well, and at other times he had pressure in his face, and he made really good decisions with the ball. I mean, he's at the end maybe trying to make a play that you'd go, don't throw that one, just throw it away. And I thought that's what Peyton did a great job of last year. Didn't force the ball. I mean, he's got 3 touchdowns and no picks, and was 30 for 43 for 283. Not a bad day, really for, I don't know how many college starts he's got now, but it's less than 10. So, we'll build upon that, and we got to be better as coaches helping him too. So a lot of that chatter going on during the end of the fourth quarter about things that we have fresh in our mind that we want to build upon moving into next week and beyond.
Coach, you guys missed a lot of tackles today. Would you attribute that to being one of the first games of the season, or was there a lot of that?
Can you say that one more time? I missed you.
Yeah, apologies. There were a lot of missed tackles
Yeah.
defensively today. Would you sort of attribute that to being an early season game, or?
Yeah, well, it's been pretty much a hallmark of who we are and what we do. We have a tackling circuit every day that we do. We work it every day in the offseason, and I'll first and foremost going to give the athletes at Michigan State the credit for making us miss. But I got a feeling it's going to come down to a couple things. We misfit some gaps. Now we're making arm tackles. Maybe we weren't aggressive enough for our run fits, or we overran some things. That's what it looked like. Especially at the end, we got guys, about ready to be pulled down, and we just weren't running our feet. So those fundamentals start and end with us as a coaching staff, and we're going to get those fixed because I know how much pride our guys have on defense. I mean, we gave more rushing yards today than we, maybe gave up in about 4 weeks last year. So a lot of things that we can improve on and fix.
Anything else for Coach? All right. Thank you.
Okay, thanks everybody for being here. Appreciate it. Have a great week. Go Cats.
We